Welcome, everyone. Okay, let's just dive right into this because today we're doing a really special visual explainer. We're looking at one of the absolute rarest, most highly coveted machines on the entire planet. We're going to deconstruct, literally, visually take apart, piece by piece, Cristiano Ronaldo's custom white Bugatti Centodieci. And let me tell you, this isn't just a car. It's a rolling masterpiece of hypercar engineering. By the end of our time together today, you're going to understand exactly how it's put together from the inside out. So I want you to think about this number for a second. 10. That is the total number of people on Earth who have the privilege of owning this elite vehicle. It's an ultra-exclusive, extremely limited edition hypercar. And Cristiano Ronaldo happens to be the most famous name on that incredibly short list of 10 owners. I mean, we're not just talking about something rare here. We are talking about literal automotive mythology. And, well, this brilliantly illustrates the cost of entry into that exclusive club. $9 million. That's the staggering price tag Ronaldo paid to secure his spot. So the crucial takeaway here is that when you're dropping the equivalent of a massive corporate acquisition on a single vehicle, you're not just buying a way to get from A to B, you are buying the absolute pinnacle of human engineering and bespoke luxury. Which brings us to the core question for our explainer today. What does a $9 million hypercar actually look like underneath all that pristine quartz white surface? How is it actually built? Today, we aren't just going to stare at the outside. We're going to visually peel back the layers of this hypercar to truly understand its anatomy. Here's our 3D roadmap for today. Step 1, the exterior shell. Step 2, the powertrain. And Step 3, the cockpit. Let's get right into it.
Layer 1. The shell, a homage to the EB110.
Now, to really appreciate this shell, you gotta know that Centodieci literally translates to 110 in Italian. It's a direct homage to the legendary 90s Bugatti EB110, celebrating the brand's 110th anniversary. Check out the front fascia. Notice that iconic horseshoe grille. It's actually significantly smaller than what you'd see on modern Bugattis. It's this brilliant retro-inspired design choice that gives the front end a much sharper, way more aggressive face. Let's move our focus over to the side profile. Trace those lines right behind the doors, and you'll spot these 5 distinct round air intakes. Now, these aren't just there to look pretty. They're vital breathing holes. They pull massive amounts of oxygen right into the engine, sitting just behind the cabin. Visually, they're a direct, flawless mimic of the classic EB110 Supersport model. It perfectly bridges the gap between 90s nostalgia and crazy modern hypercar aerodynamics. All right, shifting our attention around to the rear, look at this incredible lighting array. Instead of traditional bulbs, we're looking at a futuristic, single-piece 3D LED strip stretching completely across the body. Honestly, it looks less like a traditional taillight and way more like the glowing thruster array on a sci-fi spaceship. It gives the car this impossibly wide, super menacing stance from the back.
Wrapping up our visual tour of the exterior, your eyes are immediately pulled down to the rear diffuser. Sitting dead center are these highly aggressive, double-stacked, matte black exhaust pipes. 4 pipes in total, aligned completely vertically. It's a raw, brutal design element that really hints at the terrifying power lurking just inches away underneath that flawless white carbon fiber.
Layer 2, the heart, unveiling the W16 monster. So picture that gorgeous white shell lifting completely away, hovering in the air above to expose this absolute beast. The 8.0-liter quad-turbo W16 engine. Just take in the sheer scale of this block. You've got 16 cylinders arranged in a W formation, and they're being force-fed by not 1, not 2, but 4 massive turbochargers. This entire unit is bolted straight to a lightning-fast 7-speed dual-clutch transmission and an incredibly advanced all-wheel drive system that's specifically designed to keep this rocket glued to the tarmac. To truly wrap our heads around this power, let's look at a quick comparison. The standard Bugatti Chiron, which is already considered an absolute legendary benchmark in the hypercar world, produces a mind-bending 1,500 horsepower. But the Centodieci, the engineers push the limits even further, tuning this exact engine to deliver 1,600 horsepower. That's a full 100 more horsepower than the Chiron, putting it in a league entirely of its own. But here is the thing. When you have 1,600 horsepower on tap, you introduce a massive physics problem. How on earth do you stop it? Look closely at the wheels on our exploded chassis view. Tucked right behind them are giant 420mm carbon ceramic brake discs, clamped down by these massive red calipers. These brakes are absolutely critical. They utilize aerospace-grade friction materials just to tame the immense, roaring kinetic energy that this hypercar generates. Layer 3, the cockpit, bespoke luxury. Leaving all the oil and heavy metal behind for a second, let's float right up into the cabin. The attention to detail here is almost incomprehensible. We're talking 16 full weeks of hand craftsmanship just for this single interior. You've got top-tier premium leather, high-grade Alcantara everywhere, and ultra-light brushed matte aluminum shining off the digital central dashboard console. And if you check out the door panels, the stitching perfectly replicates those heritage patterns found in the original EB110. And this right here perfectly illustrates the personal touch. I mean, for $9 million, you definitely get to make the car your own, right? If you zoom in on the headrests of the hand-stitched leather racing seats in Ronaldo's specific vehicle, you'll spot his iconic personal brand logo, CR7, intricately stitched right into the leather. It's subtle for sure, but it's an undeniable stamp of ownership on a true one-of-10 multi-million-dollar masterpiece.
Reassembly, launching the beast.
Now imagine that hovering engine, chassis, and cabin seamlessly collapsing back down into place. The pristine white shell locks in on a dark, wet track. When Ronaldo drops his foot, the stats are frankly terrifying. 0 to 100 kilometers per hour in a blistering 2.4 seconds. Keep your foot pinned? 6.1 seconds in, you blast right past 200 kilometers per hour. Before most sports cars have even reached highway speeds, this machine hits 300 kilometers per hour in just 13.1 seconds. It will just keep pulling relentlessly until it hits its electronically limited top speed of 380 kilometers per hour. We are quite literally talking about a fighter jet built for the road. So we've peeled back the layers together. We've seen the 110-year heritage, the monstrous 1,600 horsepower W16 engine, the 16 grueling weeks of bespoke hand stitching, and those face-melting acceleration numbers. It truly is the absolute pinnacle of power, speed, and exclusivity. But I want to leave you with this provocative thought as we wrap up our explainer today. When you look at the sum of all these extraordinary parts, does this engineering marvel truly justify that ultimate $9 million price tag? Let that sink in for a bit. Thanks so much for exploring this Centodieci with us today.